Hi Taurus, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your December 2019 full moon reading for you. Now I ask, if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. So let's delve right in now, Taurus, and see what this full moon has in store for you. And do know that this full moon will last from December 12th, which is when the full moon is, to January 10th, which is when the next full moon is in 2020. All right, so again, let's jump right in. I'm moving the Moonology cards over to the side. This will help us define what the moon is saying to you, and it will be done in a little bit. Yes. And then we have this tarot deck, which will be used for the fact that we have a solar eclipse happening, a new moon solar eclipse happening, and these cards right here will help identify what this solar eclipse means for you. And then we have the main tarot deck. So let's start off right here, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus, and see what December 2019's full moon has in store for you. December 2019, full moon. December 2019, full moon, Taurus. 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 Show me clearly, show me clearly. Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Okay, fantastic. That's where the cards fell. So that's where Spirit wants me to stop. At the center of everything, Taurus, is the Seven of Shells, the Seven of Cups. You're crowned by the Six of Feathers, the Six of Swords. Then you have the Two of Wands, the Two of Acorns. The Page of Crystals and Earth sign energy. This is relevant because the new moon here is in Capricorn, as is the new moon eclipse. So this is going to have a powerful impact on you, Taurus, especially the way you take in information. The Three of Feathers, the Three of Swords. The Four of Feathers. And Temperance. Balance. Move these over just a bit more. Okay. Then you are crowned here by Love, which also represents a Gemini energy, a time frame of May 21st to June 20th. The Three of Crystals, the repeat of the number 3, says divinity is walking strong with you. And with the full moon, it says here, surrender to the divine. So this is very important. And then we have the Hangman. You're seeing things astoundingly differently than you had once seen them before, but also you are embracing your truth, your soul, and yourself. Right? So let's just talk before we go into the full moon reading for you and how it impacts you. Let's talk about this full moon for a moment. So we have here, as I said earlier, the full moon, which says surrender to the divine. And this full moon is in Gemini. So it says here, the answers you need are coming. So here, as you surrender to the divine, as you have illuminated the past cycle of the past full moon, and also as you have illuminated the darkness within you. Everybody has darkness within them, and I know it sounds like an ominous thing. It really isn't. It is the balance of our personalities. It is the fact that we are able to function within the grays of life. And so here, as the divine grounds you, surrounds you, leads you forward. It is also answering your questions. Now, be it, as I'm looking at the cards, they're not going to be answered in that straightforward way that we would so like Spirit to talk to us in. This is going to be more of a journey for you, and I know a lot of you are going to say, Dane, I'm done with the journeys, I just want the answers. And wouldn't we all? I mean, seriously, I would love that. But that's not exactly the way Spirit works. And so the way we are communicated through Spirit is not only through the voice that we hear inside ourselves when we are calm, when we are centered, but it's also through the obstacles and trepidations that we come to throughout the days, throughout the nights, as we live our lives. So here, the answers are going to come to you, but they're not going to come in the straightforward answers that we would like. It's going to come more through a pattern of behavior, is what Spirit is saying right now. A pattern of existence. So the answers are coming. The answers you need are coming, and they are going to be played out in your everyday life. So pay attention to patterns, pay attention to the correlation between what's happening and your inner voice from spirit, because as we move to the new moon, and the new moon is on December 26th, so the day after Christmas, if you celebrate Christmas, this says here the new moon is new start is coming. And what's so powerful is that the eclipse, the new moon eclipse, expect powerful change. So as you have powerful change coming, you have a new start in your life. So this is going to hit on the 26th. So for those of you who are having friends and family over, know that this is going to be an intense time. So be prepared for it. Don't get into any heated discussions. Don't sit there and let other people make your decisions for you, or I'm really, Spirit is really saying, stay true to your convictions during this time, but also disengage from any arguments that come, because what you're doing here is you're transforming yourself, and the moon itself is transforming you, is shining a new light on you, even though that light is within darkness, is within the solar eclipse, and is within the new moon, so the lack of moon during this time. And this new moon is in Capricorn, and this says your hard work is paying off. So what you're going to see here is that the change that is coming with a solar eclipse, with the new moon eclipse, is the fact that divine is guiding you, and you cannot change where the divine wants you to be. So the path that you have set out for yourself might be completely taken, off course. Things might be going higgly-wiggly for you, and you might be sitting there and going, oh my gosh, how do I do this? How do I do that? How do I move forward? Your plans that you have had start to kind of fall away, and you're looking at things anew. Keep that new vision in you, and know that the actions that you are having during this time bring you the answers that you want. It's also your emotional reaction to things. You might find that you have a very powerful or a visceral emotional reaction to things. Do not let yourself be carried away, because the change that comes for you, Taurus, I'm feeling especially here from Spirit, is that it hits you rather hard, and you're going to want to act and fix the problem. And that's what I love about Taurus. I mean, my moon is in Taurus, and I feel that that's what grounds Taurians, whether it's your moon, your sun, your rising, your Venus, it grounds you. So here, your action is going to be in that place that wants to ground you. But here, you're being taken on kind of a magic carpet ride. So let the magic come in. Let the change move you forward. Because right here, we have the Seven of Shells. The Seven of Shells is the Seven of Cups in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. So here, it says choice and ambition. So you are looking at the choices set before you. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it is usually depicted by a woman looking at the cups overhead, and each cup holds a different object in it. So here, it is a blue lobster with the shells around him. So here, there is a sense of a uniqueness to you. Blue lobster is definitely unique, and there is a sense that as you're moving forward, as you are looking what it is that you want, Spirit is saying options are going to arise during this time. Your hard work is paying off. The answers are coming. Sorry, I'm trying not to hiccup. Okay, I think it's past. We'll see. The answers are coming, and you are going to find that as they do so, you start to see possibilities arise within you, rise within yourself, within your soul, within your life. And then here, with the Three of Crystals, this is the Three of Pentacles. There's hard work to be done, and there's a working in collaboration, in correlation with a group. You have here the bumblebee. You are all working together. Now, this does not mean in any way, shape, or form that you have to work with a group of people if you aren't working with a group of people, or you don't like working with a group of people. What this does also mean is that you are working in collaboration. What this does mean, most definitely, is that you are working in collaboration with your spirit guides, with your angels, with that inner voice inside of you, with divinity that is guiding you and surrounding you and saying this change is coming. And the change that I see is like that mama bird, pushing you out of the nest. It's kind of like the tower. It's very much like the tower time. But it's not that upheaval. I know when I say tower, people get really upset and really scared because they sit there and they go, I don't want that upheaval in my life. It is change. Change is always upheaval. But here, the change is for the best. It is divinely guided. And you are working towards your goals, your desires, your heart's truth. Right? And do not be afraid to turn towards others. There is a strong correlation here with with a Gemini energy. So that Gemini energy can be very helpful as you're looking at the future. This is also a time frame of May 21st to June 20th. You are crowned by the Six of Feathers, so the Six of Swords. This says transition and insight. So you are moving forward. You're moving forward, you're finding your wings, you are embracing your grace. And what I love about this dragonfly is 6 is a nurturing number. And for me, dragonflies are always a sign that those who have passed are connecting with you. So I want to say that during this full moon, those who have passed on, those who have loved you, and maybe even you had a bit of a tumultuous relationship with them on this earthly plane, but now that has healed, right? And on the other side, in the spiritual realm, they are working towards your goals, your truth, and your power, and they are helping you realize it. So here, those who have passed are walking with you and helping you move forward. At times, you're going to be absolutely confident. You're going to think, oh my gosh, I got this. I understand it. I know where I'm heading. I know what I want. And at other times, during this period, from the 12th of December to the 10th of January, you're going to doubt yourself. You're going to question. You're going to want to kind of hide in the corner and be like, okay, enough is enough. I'm done with this. So know here that as you are embracing your truth, you are going on this roller coaster ride of confidence and fear. But you're setting your wings, you're flying forward, you're embracing here. This looks like a very small star of Venus. So you're embracing here love, joy, and the power that love's truth brings you. This leads you to the Lover's card. So you have those who have passed watching over you, protecting you, and guiding you forward. And then this brings you to the Lovers, which is choice and trust. Love is a choice, and it is a choice to trust implicitly in another person. And here, this other person is not a physical person at all. It is divinity. It is your love for yourself. It is the coming together of the twin energy. So this means, yes, of the full moon in Gemini, this means that the full moon is going to be astoundingly powerful for you. And it's very much going to be what guides your mind. Okay? So with it being at your crown, your mind is going to be guided, your thoughts, your actions, by this Gemini energy, by the full moon, by surrendering to the divine. So by surrendering to the divine, it's almost like saying, you know what? You lead me, I will follow. You've walked this path before. And if you believe in past lives, then yes, you have walked this path before also, but you do not remember it. It comes to you in drips and in drabs and in intuition. So here, you are learning to walk in your truth. And you are surrendering to the answers that are coming. And you are going to know that they will not come as a written sheet of paper saying, Taurus, here are all the answers, because I would love that. I mean, I would absolutely adore that, and I'm sure you would too. But it's going to come through your actions. It's going to come through your emotions. It's going to come through your feelings. That is how the other side is communicating with you. And that is how you are moving forward in this divine knowledge and love. That's also how divinity is communicating with you. It is a very emotional connection. It is a very powerful connection. And it is a very sacred connection that you have right now to this full moon. You are rooted in the Three of Feathers. The Three of Feathers is the Three of Swords. It's heartbreak, it's pain, it's disappointment. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, this is a heart with 3 swords stabbing it. There's nothing kind about it. It is having pain come up. It is having doubts and fears and sorrow and disappointments. And here it says release and recovery. You're releasing the negativity. You are releasing the pain. You are releasing the sorrow. And you are learning how to recover from it. But you have to feel it first. So the changes that come within the new moon and within the new moon eclipse, they are going to be a very powerful time for you. They are going to be a very truthful time for you. And it is going to bring up knowledge as you surrender to the divine, even as things are lit and illuminated, as your soul is illuminated, because our souls are like the moon, right? They shine bright, but they are surrounded by darkness. So they shine bright within our own sphere of our body, right? You could say the body itself is like the sun. You see it. You don't see everybody's soul. I mean, unless you see auras, but that's a completely different task. So here, you're not seeing everybody's soul. And what you're doing, and people aren't seeing yours. So what you are doing is you are healing, but it's very private. And as you heal, you shine brighter. You shine. The heartbreak, the pain, the disappointment, expect it to be very powerful from the 12th and I know you're going to absolutely despise this, to the 26th. So it doesn't mean that you have to have a blue time or a sad time, an overwhelming time. It means that you're going to be very aware of the emotions that you don't want within your life. You're going to be very aware of the things that are causing you stress or agita or doubt and fear and an overwhelming sense of, can I do this? This is what's coming up, and it's at your root. And with the Hanged Man, what you are doing here is you're releasing and you're recovering. The sun shines around the moth right here. And then you have the Hanged Man, which is patience and perspective. Have patience with the perspective that you are now taking on. Have patience with the fact that you are releasing the negative and you are embracing a new way of seeing things. You will also be seeing things very differently than everybody else around you, Taurus. So do not expect people to understand where you're coming from. And do not expect people to sit there and say, oh, I completely get it. Because they won't. And if they say, oh, I completely get it, one person will. It may very well be this Gemini energy right here. All right? Or a person who very much is able to see two sides of a coin. But people, when they say, oh, I get it, they're not really going to understand the depth of the revelation that is coming your way. All right? So know that you are seeing things very differently. Do not apologize for it. Do not, kind of shift it around so that you start seeing things like everybody else. Because then you haven't surrendered to the divine. You've surrendered to society. And what the divine wants is for your heart to shine. And if your heart shines just like everybody else's heart, it's all kind of this uniformed pattern, then that's great. But I'm really seeing here that everybody who conforms, who buys into what's being sold, you're going to find that you're not like everybody else. You're changing. You're seeing things differently. This is a time to say, okay, this is everybody. This is like sheep all going in this direction. You're going that way. You're going that way. You may very well be a sheep because you're a person just like everybody else. And that's the equation that I'm using right now. But you are going a different path. So do not try to walk like everybody else. It's just not going to work for you the way that you would want it to. There's a sense of surrendering to answers, and they come through physicality. They come through the actions that you have. They come through the way your body moves when you say something. And if your body starts to ache and hurt, then this means that it's not right and you need to listen to it. This is how I see things manifesting during this time. You have the Four of Feathers. The Four of Feathers is sanctuary and rest. So the Four of Feathers is the Four of Swords. It's saying you've been through a war. Now, whether that is physically true or it isn't, here it is saying you need to rest. And you need to see and give yourself credit for all that you have been through. For the pain and the sorrow and the hurt. Because this war is also simply the war of life. The war to remain unique. The war to be yourself and not lose it to what everybody else says. And as you do so, you have the Page of Crystals opening up. And this correlation to the new moon is very important because it says ideas and discipline. The ideas and discipline come as you start something new, as a new start is coming, and as your hard work pays off. So here it is going to very much affect the way that you see things, the way that you study things, the way that you take things in, the way that you desire yourself moving forward. And there needs to be a comprehension of everything that you have been through, a honoring of all the hardships that you have been through. Because here we have the digression, we have the countdown from 4 to 3. The 4 of Feathers, the 3 of Feathers, and then you have the 3 to the 4. So as you release the pain, you say, wow, look at what I've lived through. Yes, it may not be as bad as everybody else, but this isn't a, compare and contrast type of thing. This isn't a one-up type of thing either. This is saying that for you, this was intense. And it doesn't matter if other people would laugh and say, oh my gosh, that's so easy. For you, it's scarred. Right? It doesn't have to be severe battle wounds that nobody can deny. It is simply the way your heart processes things. And I am of the firm belief that we are emotional beings. And as emotional beings, we have to listen to our heart's truth. And if we shut out our heart's truth, if we say, oh, I can't feel that way, oh, I can't be like this, because everybody else isn't, you are going to put yourself into a little small box and you're going to be miserable because that's not where your answers are and that's not surrendering to the divine. You're going to find that you start to work with others They don't see things the same way you see things. You're going to bring a very unique insight into the way things move forward. And as you do so, you have the Temperance card right here. This is a Sagittarian energy. This is a time frame of November 22nd to December 21st, right? And this says balance and harmony. And that's what you're embracing. And that's what the full moon is bringing you. Very much so. A sense of balance, a sense of harmony, a sense of embracing who you are, where you're going, why you have started this journey to begin with. It leads you to the Two of Acorns, the Two of Wands. This is insight and focus. So as you have your balance and harmony come, there's insight and there's focus to the way that you are moving forward, to the way that you spread your wings, to what you seek to achieve. That leads you to love, and to collaboration, and to a sense of, it's not even collaboration with other people, it's collaboration with you and the divine as you move forward. So what does this full moon have to say about all of this? Taurus, December 2019, full moon. Taurus, December 2019, full moon. Taurus, December 2019, full moon. Show me clearly. Show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly, show me clearly. Fantastic. Okay. At the heart of everything. Actually, I'm just going to lay these out quietly, and then we'll start. Okay, so I love the fact that at the heart of this, you shine through. So it's over here. So we're going to start first with the waning moon over the Seven of Shells. So the Seven of Shells is choice and ambition. And here, this is, what do you need to release? What do you need to let go in order to meet your ambition? In order to make the proper choice? What do you need to let go within the waxing moon, within this time? Right? That's at your heart right here. There's a release at your heart as you realize your truth, as you focus on your truth. Then we have the full moon in Taurus with the Three of Crystals. The Three of Crystals is collaboration and productivity. So here we have your dreams need a practical plan. So Taurus, you are shining through as the full moon here. So you're shining through very brightly. And you're saying as you move forward with a surrendering to spirit, you need a practical plan. Right? Your practicality is grounding you with the Gemini influence. Right? So it's going to be very beautiful at this time. The sense of balance and the sense of wonder that you are embracing, that also is in alignment with Gemini and with Capricorn. Capricorn can get very rigid in the negative. Gemini can get very flighty in the negative. So wanting and making sure that you balance the two of these within your life, because there's going to be conflicting energy at this time. Balancing the two of them, right? And moving forward in a sense of wonder, in a sense of discovery, in a sense of collaboration of ideas and mind, and a sense of determination, and a sense of being very connected with the sensible. All right, that's what I'm seeing here. This is as you move forward in your productivity. Your dreams need a practical plan, and you're great at the practical plans, even if they don't seem practical to everybody else. Because remember, at your root here, we have the Hanged Man, and well, we're getting there. It's just a second. We have the disseminating moon, and this says take time to breathe out. That makes sense, especially with the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is a release. So it says, take time to breathe out. Take time to just let it go. All right, and it's a sense of calm. Now, I know this is going to sound very funny, but when I said that, have I been calling these all solar eclipses? if I have, just let me apologize. This is a lunar eclipse, and I did not mean to call it a solar eclipse. I don't know why I have. But here, with the disseminating moon, when it says take time to breathe out, I just saw putting a very warm cloth or hot cloth upon your face and just letting yourself soak into breathing out, soak into calm and relaxing, and a sense of just falling into alignment with yourself. And that's what I'm seeing here. It leads with the 3 of feathers, a release and a recovery from the overwhelming, from the heartbreak, from the pain, from the despair that you have been in. And it doesn't have to be big. You might be saying, Dane, my life has been going really, really well. There's always some pain that lingers, that tries to pull us back. Don't let it take control of you. This then leads to the waxing moon, and it says the energy is gaining momentum as you see things differently. So as you breathe out, the hangman says, be patient with your perspective. Be patient with the way things change and the energy that is around you as you embrace your unique way of seeing things is gaining momentum as you move forward. This then leads to the full moon in Scorpio, which says it's time to release negativity. And then the 4 of feathers, which says sanctuary and rest. So it's time to release negativity, and it is going to be like a burden is lifted from your shoulders during this time. Yes, you're being led towards tremendous change during this new moon eclipse, and the burden that is being lifted from your shoulders as the change comes, because this is ready or not, here I come change. This is unstoppable divine change as you surrender. It will be easier if you surrender to the divine during the full moon. You will see yourself being able to breathe. You will see yourself releasing the negativity that you do not want in your life anymore. This leads to the blue moon, which is gorgeous. It says, believe in the impossible. With the page of crystals, with ideas and discipline, believe in the impossible, especially during the change that is coming. Believe in the impossible changes. Believe in the impossible events that leave you forward, that move you forward. So here, this is believing in the impossible as you go after your dreams, as you move forward towards the divine path of ideas and of coming together with these ideas and a release from the negativity. Because here we have the steady work, but here, it's saying do it. Spirit is saying do it through the full moon. So we have the full moon in Taurus. Dreams need a practical approach. Believe in the impossible and take time to breathe. So as you focus on your practical approach, believe in the impossible. Don't sit there and say, it has to be like this or it has to be like that. Take time to sit back and breathe. Because if you have yourself so stressed, you will let the opportunity pass you by without even meaning to. This then moves you to the new moon in Cancer. Oh, golly. And the new moon in Cancer says, you and your loved ones are safe. As you find balance, as you find harmony, and as you embrace balance and harmony. With the temperance card. This then leads to the full moon in Leo, right here, over the 2 of acorns, which is insight and focus. That says, don't let pride get in your way. Do not let pride get in your way. As you focus your mind, as you embrace your insights, and as you spread your wings, as you look towards the future. Keep inspired. This brings you... Did I just skip? Oh, I did skip your head, so I do apologize about that. This brings you to a time of healing with love. As you run forward with spirit, at your crown, you have a time of this is a time for healing with the balsamic moon. So here, you have time to move forward in love, move forward in what you desire. It's a time for healing. As you embrace your love, your truth, and as you see your choices start to really impact your everyday existence. This crown is coupled with the full moon in Virgo, which says, you are good enough. as you're being graced by your ancestors, by those who passed, as you are moving forward, as you transition in a way that brings insight and ideas into your life, as you're moving forward, as you are going through the change of the eclipse, of the new moon, the changes that they bring, the divine connection that the full moon always calls us to. You are good enough. You are good enough. This is a time for healing and a time for love, for you are good enough. Okay, so let's see how the lunar eclipse, the new moon eclipse, will affect you. How? Okay, Taurus, new moon eclipse, Taurus, new moon eclipse, December 2019, Taurus, new moon eclipse, December 2019, Taurus, new moon eclipse, December 2019. Show me clearly. Show me clearly. Show me clearly. Fantastic. And we're doing your heart, your head, and your roots. So just 3, because I do not want you to sit there and be like, Dane, when is this reading ever going to be over? So we're just kind of showing the heart of this eclipse at this time. And I love that at the heart of it is the Empress. This is sensual energy, which absolutely correlates with you, Taurus. This is a sense of claiming your power, knowing your throne, knowing the way that you're moving forward. And this is a sense of beauty. It is over the waxing moon, which says, what do you need to release? As you make the choices that you want, the Empress is saying, you release the negativity that is keeping you from claiming your power. The doubts, the fears, the apprehensions, the negativity of heart. So as you move forward and as you have the choices come before you, what you need to release is the fact that there's a doubt that you could be the Empress, a doubt that you can claim your glory, your truth, and your power, because you most definitely can. This leads you to the crown of the King of Wands. The King of Wands is a fire sign energy, an Aries, a Leo, a Sagittarius. It's passion, it's creativity. You are good enough to go after your passions. You will be like the actor upon the stage with your passions during this new moon eclipse, during this time of change and divine guidance. You will be led towards your passion as you realize you are good enough, and as you are surrounded by your ancestors, as you move forward towards what you love with all the knowledge that you have gathered by your side. This then leads you to the Queen of Swords. Now, this is, again, a strong connection with the full moon. The full moon in Gemini, the answers you need are coming, okay? Yeah, the answers you need are coming. Ooh, I wanted to do that stealthily. It just didn't work, all right? As you surrender to the divine, you have the Lovers right here, which shows that Gemini energy. In the major arcana, you have the Queen of Swords right here, which shows the Gemini energy. In the minor arcana, it is going to be very impactful for you. Be prepared for this full moon to be very intense for you. There's a sense of cutting through doubts and fears, knowing where it is that you stand, knowing what it is that you want. This leads you to time to needing a time to take a breath, needing to take a breath as you release the pain and realize that you can accomplish exactly what you want, and that your mind has been holding you back. Doubts, fears, overthinking, overanalyzing. Now you are set free. All right. Your subconscious message for this whole entire reading is the 5 of Crystals, the 5 of Pentacles. This says here persistence and new possibilities. So as you are persistent, new possibilities arise. The way that you want to move forward comes to you. But there is a sense of feeling like an outsider at times. Do not let that feeling take over. It most easily can, because we tend as human beings to very much embrace the negative over the positive. What I'm seeing here is that divinity will be guiding you forward towards your truth, towards your power, towards what you love. Do not let negativity take over and pull you down, because it will want to. This is a new perspective, new possibilities, and being present in the moment, and not sitting there and saying, okay, I know how this was because I experienced it before. This is saying you have a new slate. This is a new time. Embrace especially the changes that are coming in. It's going to move you forward in a way that really amplifies the 5 in this card, seeing that really amplified, which means that it's moving you forward in a way that brings about a freedom, and a freedom to change the direction that you have been in, or a freedom. No, it's just going to bring you freedom. It's like you're set free, and you think, oh my goodness, finally. Your subconscious message from the moon is the new moon in Libra. A new romantic cycle begins. Now, this could be with falling in love. This could be a romantic cycle as in falling in love. But this is also a new romantic cycle of your life. Falling in love with your existence. Falling in love with the way that you want to move forward. Falling in love with your life. And then the subconscious message with the eclipse is the Page of Cups. This is love, joy, happiness, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. And this is embracing what you love as you move forward in your truth. It's being a student of love, and it's being empowered by the quest for what your heart truly desires, and for the quest of where you stand on this earthly realm in love and in joy and prosperity. All right, Taurus, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. It has been an absolute pleasure bringing you this reading. I hope you have enjoyed it as much as I have enjoyed bringing you this message from Spirit. Bye.